I'm reliving the same day over and over. Do you ever have deja vu, Mrs. Lancaster?
I don't think so, but I could check with the kitchen.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Groundhog Day, I think, is happening. Or Groundhog Year. You say, what do you mean? 2009 looks like it's being repeated. These events, like the so-called revival in Lakeland, now the revival in Kentucky. The so-called swine flu, now we have bird flu. But I think this is a Groundhog Day, so anyway, you guys watch out. I think whatever they're intending is going to happen this year. I think they're going to start then that Biden will declare that bird flu is a national emergency, and that they're going to start pushing something. They're going to push that they have a vaccine for the bird flu, but not enough. And they're just playing people, I think, into a big death. And they had hoped to achieve it in 2008, 2009 time. So they start this in 2008. It panders out. Swine flu. They didn't get their that Baxter with the live bird flu. They didn't get those flu jabs out. It was caught in a lab. So then they didn't have their big death. They didn't have this weapon released. But as we
active H1N1 flu vaccine.
The clock is ticking, and when children go back to school, children are going to be very susceptible to this virus.
You know what's happening here? I got a phone call today from England. They said, Todd, did you know that on YouTube, the Lakeland revival is number 8 in the world of the most watched videos on the YouTube
series of charismatic gatherings which came to be known as the Lakeland revivals. Although he was originally scheduled to speak for only a few days at the event, Mr. Bentley ended up remaining for several months. The Lakeland revivals were rampant with strange behaviors including holy laughter and bizarre physical manifestations. Perhaps the most distinctive and frankly dangerous characteristic of Todd Bentley's alleged spiritual gifts are his claims about healing people of diseases by punching and kicking them. And one of his infamous signatures is saying "BAM" over and over again.
States, President Obama has taken steps to ratchet up the response. Officials hope the move will give the government the authority and flexibility to react to a virus that continues to confound the medical community. ABC's Rachel Martin joins us now from the White House this morning. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Kate. The White House says this is a proactive move to make sure hospitals and local governments can respond swiftly rather than a sign that the crisis is deepening. Still, it is now official. Swine flu is a national emergency.
19 states now say they're dealing with cases of swine flu. And this morning, outside Seattle, Washington, we've learned of one of the latest cases involving a pediatrician who now has the flu after seeing nearly 24 patients.
After going home, she became more ill with high fever symptoms and went to a local emergency room.
They are now reaching out to the parents of the children the pediatrician saw at the clinic to be on the lookout for symptoms.
President Obama decided to declare the epidemic a national emergency of swine flu, and around the country people were lining up waiting for hours to get vaccinations. But there are only 11 million doses available, far short of the 40 million expected by this time, and the 150 million the government says will eventually be needed for everyone. ABC's Lisa Fletcher has been there where the lines will be forming again.
As the Israeli military carried out at least 150 powerful airstrikes against the Gaza Strip. Israeli tanks fired into Gaza too, but didn't enter.
Continues to simmer. A barrage of explosions have rocked the Gaza Strip. Israel's military says that it carried out these strikes in retaliation to a rocket which it says was launched from Gaza on Saturday.
Lange oprijlaan zullen al Mensen staan uit de dorpen. Oeh, en daar gaat een auto tegen.
To start work on a potential new vaccine for bird flu for people. And this is after concerns have been raised about bird flu spreading from wildfowl and poultry into mammals and the potential for that to then leap across into human beings.
Themselves any longer, requiring more help to keep the revival going.
Many people that I have spoken with have described tonight as beautiful because while this 24-hour service form.
Well, yeah, Groundhog year, I think, is happening. I think they're repeating certain events. So be on the lookout for an event involving these two here this year. And I think they're going to do an attempted attack on them. And I think anybody that looks at 2009 and looks at, you might find some parallels to different things happening. But I believe they're doing a second try at the event that didn't happen when they wanted to back in 2009, 2008 period. So be safe. We're in an interesting year. And don't go to that Kentucky Wilbury whatever event. I think they intend to hurt Christians there one way or another, either deception or physically. So I would give that kind of a wide berth. And I think those snakes, certain ones, are going to show up on Thursday the 23rd of February and take it over theirs. But yeah, Groundhog year. Wonder what is coming next, eh? UFOs, they're not from space. They're just human crafts built on the knowledge gained from how bees and certain beetles fly. And that's all they are, is human tech from Noah's days that the clay and iron ones are using to deceive. And the end of Mystery Babylon is soon. The commies are going to fall while the clay and iron rise. And I think this year is the trigger year for some serious events. So buckle up. It's going to get bumpy, I guess. So. Thanks for listening. And hey, love Batman.